5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Okay, good evening, everybody. I'm Duncan Garner. Welcome to the program. Great to have you along. Good evening.
Duncan Garner, live.
Leave us a message tonight on the show. Something positive after a week where we've tried to tear each other apart pretty much. The winner of Mrs. New Zealand 2024, this will be fun. The new title holder will join us. The title holders will join us and tell us how winning this crown has changed their lives and their outlook on life and the opportunities that now present. So this will be exciting. That is shortly. And Mahesh Muralidhar, the CEO of Phase 1 Ventures. He mentors the startups. He's an entrepreneur. And he speaks about the economy. And just today, the Treasury has said the New Zealand economy isn't performing as well as they had forecast, and production and manufacturing is struggling. It's low, it's down, it's not good enough. So how do we get out of this rut? Does Mahesh have some answers? Because, boy, it seems that we need a few right now. So we'll have a chat to him, and let's get into it.
Duncan Garner, live.
Okay, good evening, folks. Nice to have you along. Mahesh Muralidhar. If the name is familiar, yes, he's the guy that stood in Auckland Central for the National Party, born in India, raised in Singapore, and as a 14-year-old, sent to Napier Boys High School on his own, turned up in New Zealand as a 14-year-old on his own and got sent to Napier Boys. That would be an awakening, wouldn't it? Mahesh is a business person. He mentors startups. He speaks about business, and he wants New Zealand to perform better on the world stage than it currently is, which is, I suppose, an aim and a wish for all of us. I'll ask him where we are going wrong, and are we ready for the impact of AI, Mahesh? Welcome. Nice to see you, mate. Good evening.
Good day, Duncan.
Nice to finally get you in here.
Likewise, good to be here, man.
Yeah. So what is it you do? What is it you do?
So I have the privilege of nurturing New Zealand's next wave of awesome entrepreneurs. So when I came back home 3.5 years ago, for free, 3 day, all year long, every day, I built a early stage founder community with the goal of them becoming New Zealand's next wave of incredible founders. 75% of that founder community is now venture backed, which is a crazy conversion rate.
Okay, so these are startups effectively. These are businesses that are now operating.
That's right. And this is important. The technical definition of a startup is something that aims to grow 5% week on week.
5% week on week.
That's right.
Because these things fail as well, right?
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, many?
They not in our community,
right?
But yes, at large, yeah, of course. Many do.
How do you say, right, this is the one? Yeah, we'll back this one. We'll put money into this one. Where do you get the money from for a start? Have we got much of an investment community here?
Yeah. So it's not, for me, it's not about the money.
Right.
You actually don't need much money, right? Like to actually build a really good understanding of a customer and a problem, you don't need money. The mistake that people make is they get worried about the solution, the idea, how it's going to be.
Well, people need capital, though, don't they? Isn't it some of the biggest disadvantage that we don't have enough capital?
No, we just don't know how to do this really well.
Right.
Capital is easy to get. If you are a great founder, and great founders, you know this, Duncan, are people who obsess about the customer and about the problem.
Yes.
Not about the idea, not about the solution.
Yes.
Do I know the customer and the problem?
Yes.
Those people find money.
Yeah, so they are deadly focused on the outcomes.
Yes, outcomes, and they really just know their customer inside out. They've spent like 2 years, like really
I'm dealing with someone
to know.
like this at the moment it's a startup, and I'm in the first wave of some as a customer, and boy, they wrap themselves around you because you are their market, you are their target.
There you go.
And they only want 30 of you initially.
There you go.
Because they can build a community. That's right. Around that. So that's what it's about,
That's
right?
right. The other thing that's important for Kiwi founders is you want to be US from day one. Because you want to hit a large, homogenous market straight away.
So you want to be in the US, did you say?
Yes, you stay here,
yes,
but you can hit the US customer from here.
Yeah, but you have to be able to deliver, and it's such a big market, right?
But I mean, again, like you said, 30.
Yeah.
30 US
30.
customers in the US. You learn that, and then suddenly you start to go gangbusters.
So how many startups have you seen flourish and succeed?
So we've invested into 20 of them.
Yep.
18 of them are still going gangbusters.
Right. Wow, that's good, eh?
Yeah, it is.
And so how much money is involved in backing those guys?
So we raised $2 million. Right. So not much, not much, but Blackbird, Airtree, some of the big GD1, some of the big venture players, they've poured money into these guys.
Yeah, no, we're babies, aren't we? We're small, but it's important because this is the future of our economy, right?
Correct.
Yeah, and
it's one of.
It's one of. And are we looking strong? And do we have ideas, people? Do we have entrepreneurs? How are we looking out there? Because I don't know this.
It's not about the ideas, people, right? It's about, do we have ambitious people?
Yeah.
Do we have people can... We do. We do.
Yeah.
I mean, of course we do. We're a country of entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
Right? We do. We just More of us need to know that there's a big, amazing world out there.
Yes.
And then you can have a crack.
Do you know what I worry about in the media is that we don't do enough of this. We celebrate sport. We talk about race relations until we're, red in the face. But what I've always lamented in many ways is that we don't talk about business success and we don't highlight business. Now in Australia they do, America they do. Here it's kind of tall poppy and these rich prick. That kind of attitude. I can't stand it.
Yeah.
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 But I think we should cherish and celebrate wealth and celebrate success and celebrate business.
Yeah.
But there's not enough of a conversation around it.
Yeah, I think one of the reasons is because we're a small country, so we know everybody, right? So we don't want to see anyone do too bad. So we're ingrained to address inequity, more compassionate.
Yes.
So that counters growth.
Well, that also counters that tall poppy as well.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. But so we need a few role models, which is what I came back home to do.
Yeah.
And then we got to go gangbusters. Rocket Lab, for example.
Well, Rocket Lab, Sam Morgan with Trade. These Rocket Lab, brilliant. Peter Beck.
Peter
we've
Beck.
had him in here, and he's so Kiwi.
Yeah.
And he's so sort of unaware of his own success in many ways, right? He doesn't want to go to the moon. Not interested. But he's got amazing contracts. It's amazing business. He employs 1,800 people.
That's right. And
it's huge.
We can do this, and we are doing this, right? Some of the founders that I've had a chance to work with and am working with, amazing.
So,
amazing
can you tell us
companies.
what sort of stuff they're doing? What sort of
Sure.
ideas?
So here's a few. COTUS, which is a procurement platform for critical industry, airports, local government. They have their own unique procurement issues.
Wow.
Yeah. iVoter.ai, which is a contract legal solution.
Yes.
Ring Radar, a B2B solution for the equestrian market for horses.
As long as you are ambitious for ideas and you come up,
so much out there.
I interviewed some guys the other day. They were involved in a thing called Work Ride, and they just realised that you could get a bit of a tax break if the company bought the bike for you. Do you know the
Connor and
you know them?
Yeah, I know them. They were I've worked with them.
brilliant.
Yeah, they're freaking awesome.
I mean, and how good are those guys? And that to me is they're using AI.
Yeah.
They're using the current tax system. They're using their knowledge. They're running it through a system, and it works.
Yeah.
And it's good for the environment. It's good for you. It's good for your business.
Duncan, these people are coming.
Yeah.
They're going to lift us up.
Yeah. And so what sort of people are they? Are they at universities, or do they avoid university? Do they go straight to... what do they do?
Most of them gone to university.
Yeah.
Most of them a bit younger.
Yeah.
Because what happens, you need naivety.
Yeah.
You need to
Totally.
you need to think you can do it all, and you need to be able to slam through walls. Doesn't mean you can't be more mature and not do it.
Yes.
But that naivety is actually a useful thing.
Well, it means you don't see any barriers in the way. I used to be like that. Now I think far too much about things.
Oh, come on, Duncan.
Jamie Beaton. I had him on the program. So I am celebrating success and business success.
There you go.
But that guy is amazing.
He is intense.
He's got 9... Intense is right. He's got 9 degrees.
He's another level of intense.
But who has 9 degrees at age 29? Come on. How many have you got?
I've got 3. Yeah, that's about it.
Got 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, but 9 at... he's off the planet. Amazingly successful.
He is.
But New Zealanders don't even know who he is.
Yeah.
We need to celebrate these
We've got to
guys.
talk about this more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got great startups. We've got some money in there,
Yeah.
if we need it. What about New Zealand as a whole, our outlook, our business success? If you go away from the startups and you look at us as a country, I think we're struggling.
Yeah.
You saw that with the treasury today. They're saying that we're not doing so well. That was a bit of a kick in the guts because everyone's looking forward to 25 to survive to 25, and now it all looks a little bit flat, right?
So we have an imagination where Denmark, Sweden, Norway. Right, that's the imagination so many of us have in our heads of how New Zealand should be. We should have.
We don't have the oil that
we should have 3, masters taught kindergarten teachers, and the hospital system working this way and this way. For that kind of economy and country, you need GDP per capita, which is the amount of value per person, of about 70,000.
Yeah, we're about halfway there.
Ours is about 48.
Yeah.
So we've got a 50% delta.
Yeah, we don't have minerals like Australia.
We don't.
We don't have oil like they do in Norway.
Yeah.
Norway's, if you look at their oil receipts, what people don't say is they have all this stuff. They're all green and clean and all this sort of, but they have oil.
That's right. And then they've got a sovereign fund, which just keeps recycling that cash.
Well, we've got funds too now, and Sam Stubbs, the interview, says I think really positively for the New Zealand market. He's building houses. He's involved in. He bought something else the other day too. I noticed. Something else he bought the other day. Anyway, so I like what he's doing. He's very Kiwi focused. We do have funds. It's not true to say we don't have money.
We do, but we need to set a clear target around 5% annual growth for the next 10 years.
Yeah, well, that'd be nice to see. No one's even setting that as an ambition.
Yeah, I mean, I think we have to.
We'll be lucky to get to 2.
What? No. Let's do this again, Duncan. We are getting
Where are we at the moment?
5% growth.
Where are we at the moment? 2?
Around 1, 2. Around
Yeah,
there.
we're not even at 2.
Yeah, but this is how we do things, right? We set a goal.
Yeah.
We come together and we make it happen.
But you have to have policies. If you have a goal, great. So if you have a goal, it's almost like, John Key had that job summit.
Yeah.
And people ridiculed him for it, but at least he had all the heads in the room and they smashed a few heads together and came up with a few things. I almost wonder if we need another reset. But the problem for me is that we've gone to our groups. We've gone into our groupings and we're pointing fingers and we're not as one. We're definitely not as one at the moment. And that means we go backwards in my view.
Yeah, but in an odd way, this is the positive thing, right? Our back's against the wall.
Yeah.
We've got no other option here. We have to, and if the two things are, we've got to grow the economy significantly, make a difference in people's lives, for the hospitals, education, and we need social cohesion.
Yeah.
Right? And to do number 2, you need number 1.
Yes. It doesn't happen without it.
And if we do not grow the economy, cutting up the pie, doing all of this, all of that conversation is irrelevant.
If you don't grow the economy, there won't be treaty settlements.
That's right.
There won't be money for this, that and the other. There won't be money for Māori language and Māori programs. You won't have the option.
For the hospitals, for this, for education, this.
Well, we're already cutting back everything anyway.
That's right.
No, I wonder if that's starting to have an impact as well.
Sure, but going back to this, like The Economist came out and made a conversation about the government spending, right? And the only thing that most of us and the country needs to be talking about, in my opinion, is how are we hitting that 5%? Because if we don't do that, everything else is kind of just like...
But the Prime Minister's not talking... Well, look, I do think they're out in the world trying to get trade deals, and we've seen that with Todd McClay in India, although, and you'll know more about this than me, you've written about this, we need that trade deal, but India doesn't need us all of a sudden, right?
Yeah, the Prime Minister's been out. He is working.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, and Todd McClay.
Out. Yeah, both of them are out there. And Winston.
Yeah.
They're out there shaking hands and trying to engage with the world all over again after like this huge long pause.
And that has impacted, I think, everybody, because they have to start and form relationships again. And
that's right.
Helen Clark was very good at this and knew everybody by name. Luxon's a newbie on the scene, so he's trying to get around and say good day. But he's very personable.
Yeah.
He's very busy.
Yeah.
And he's very I would say energetic in these things, right?
Yeah.
There's a lot he won't know as well, but there's a lot he'll know being an airline chief as well.
So I've heard from NZTE staff who have been on things with him. He's on.
Yeah.
He is on.
I did a panel the other day with Peter Crisp.
Yeah.
NZTE, and so I hear.
Yeah. He's working, and so he's very clearly focused.
Because he's an outcomes guy.
Yeah,
he wants to be able to turn around and say, Mahesh, here's our outcomes that we've received and we've got in Q4, you know? But in politics, it sometimes takes a bit longer.
Yeah, and outside of the politics and the policies, we need the startups.
Yeah.
Right? We need to go where the demand is. So where's the demand? Demand's in US, demand's in India, demand's in Southeast Asia, demand is in the Middle East.
Yes.
Those are your hotspots.
That's where we are.
Right? Those are your hotspots.
Yep.
And then we need the startups, we need our small, medium-sized businesses just to make an overseas dollar.
Yeah.
More
That's
of them.
GDP going up.
Yeah. Just I don't care how you do it. Just make 1 or 100 or 1,000. Just make one overseas dollar.
We need to sell to the world is what you're saying.
That's right.
Yeah. So dairy prices look good.
Yeah.
But that's one dimensional. We need the other guys. I mean, we are Asia.
That's right.
Jim Bolger said this, and it was all everyone said, what is he talking about? He was right.
That's right.
He was right. That's the market. Our markets aren't traditional America and Britain.
Yeah.
Maybe 1950, but things have changed. So we need to keep evolving. We need to keep educating ourselves. Our education system, your take on that?
Man, it's been rough. It's like you hear the stats, you hear the stories. It's heartbreaking, right? Like I can't remember what I mean.
I follow the education stuff really closely because I have a son in there, and I've seen the stuff around the world, and I've seen what they get in schools here compared to around the world, and I don't know. I've got two. David Ferguson came in here, Westlake Boys outgoing principal. He's off to the Teachers Institute, and he said to me that he had a go at me and said, "Look, it's not that easy, and if it's easy, then at least it keeps the boys in education for a bit longer." Which is kind of lowering our expectations a bit, you know. Exactly. It shouldn't be easy.
No,
school should be hard. School should be difficult.
Yeah, and we've got to aim. We've got to go big. We've got to be ambitious. We we are so lucky for what we have.
Yes.
And
Taken for granted.
The Prime Minister is right. We can be the best small country in the world, and we must.
But we've got to go together. And if we're in different moving parts, we're not big enough to be successful.
No, we're
and
not.
And that's why Australia beats us hands down. Apart from having minerals, they're bigger, and they have economies of scale.
Yeah, that's right. And you're right. We can't take many like big, expensive social experiments. Like if in a large country like India, or US, you can afford like social experiments.
Well, you don't see them.
Yeah,
you don't see them.
because it's one state, another state. We're a small country.
But
so
we've had a few experiments under that last government.
Yeah.
We spend a lot of money.
Yeah.
And we don't have many bridges and buildings to show for it.
No, we don't.
No, but we racked up a bit of debt.
We
at the same
don't.
time, which is a shame. It's a lost opportunity. It's set us back in many ways.
Yeah. But we are turning this around. We can turn this around. We must turn this around.
Yeah. A free trade deal with India would be really helpful.
It would be. What's more important is more of our entrepreneurs just understand India. Like, we don't understand India. For example, a simple way to think about India is it's Europe. Yeah. When you think about Europe, it's many different countries, many different languages, many different food types, many different things, but it's Europe in one country.
Yeah.
Right? That's the way to think about India. So, for example, in 10 years, we will know each state in India on its own because each state will be like growing.
Like America.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
It's made up of 52 countries.
Correct. Exactly right.
You know?
So this it's going to be the same way. In my opinion, the biggest cultural counterweight to the US will be India.
More India than China.
Yeah, absolutely. Because India's open cultural counterweight, right? Because it's open sourced.
Yes.
It's English speaking.
Yes.
And
they're traders.
Yeah, they're traders.
Yeah.
They're out there. They're in like the global community doing stuff.
And for the last year, we've seen more Indians come here to settle than at any other time in our history. They've gone to number one. Why? Why is that?
Well, I mean, I don't think New Zealand's unique in regards to this. And my suspicion is the number one country for Indians from India is the US.
Yeah.
So it's probably US, UK,
but for us,
Canada.
yeah.
I mean, it's 1.4 billion people.
Yeah.
The average age is. Do you know what the average age in India is?
22.
28.
Oh,
it's pretty close.
That's
pretty good. It's pretty good. So there's a whole bunch of young people
Yeah.
ready to go.
Yeah.
Right.
Because of their situation.
No, just well, sure. I mean, it is systems work better outside of India.
Yeah.
There's more opportunities, etc. So there's a good percentage of them
Yes.
that are like, hey, let's go test it outside.
Yes.
And they're English speaking. And there's clearly a pathway. There's so many role models in regards to going overseas and doing well.
Family are here anyway. Yeah.
Correct. So then, of course you're going to step out and go. Right.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And just to it's been great talking to you. Really great. I could talk all night about this. Your hopes for New Zealand. Do you think that we're okay? Are we okay in terms of our positioning or not right now?
I mean, I think there's no doubt that New Zealand will be incredibly successful eventually because we have two incredible blocks of land that the whole world wants, right? Like wants some way, somehow, whether it's to visit, to see, to use for AI data center, renewable energy pieces. We've got to get around to really thinking strategically about how we're going to use it.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, we haven't done that. So think about 5% and think about how to strategically use it. The tourists aren't coming, though, like they were.
Yeah, that's true. So we've got to turn all of that around. It's easily done. Like, for example, look at our cricketers, right? Like, if you look at their Instagram profile, like Rachin's profile, Simon Dewell's profile, it'll just be Indians.
Yeah.
So why not a bunch of boutique hoteliers hit them to showcase India?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. AI. Final question. AI.
Yes.
How are we placed in terms of our understanding of it, our knowledge of it, and our use of it?
Yeah, not great. I'm not too fussed about that. The whole world isn't.
Yeah.
But the way
who knows what's coming?
Well, the way to think about AI is to think about it like electricity.
Yeah.
In the late 1800s, electricity became a thing. Then it was the light bulb. So it was just a system.
Yeah.
And then eventually, as a point, then it eventually traversed to the whole system.
Yeah.
That's what's going to happen.
Change the world.
That's right. That's exactly right.
Yeah.
It's a huge opportunity for us.
Yeah. I just think embrace what comes along.
100%.
Yeah. But what's the other option?
Well, I mean, keep going backwards, which is not going to happen.
Yeah.
We're going to move forwards.
Yeah. It's lovely to meet you. Lovely to see you. I've got no more questions.
Oh, that's great.
You've been wonderful. Do you think? Where do you think we can be in 2 years, 5 years, and 10 years?
2 years. 2 years. Things are on the up. Do you remember during the 2014, the English key years, things were starting to feel like they were really going. I think we'll probably get there. The global economy will be going, and we should be on the up. In 5 years, hopefully, some of the projects we've triggered would be really winning. We've had a bit more of a conversation about who we are as a people. And 10 years, done.
Yeah, we're there. Let's hope so. Nice to see you.
Yeah.
All the very best.
Thank you.
We'll do it again. We'll
Cheers.
catch up again. Okay.
Duncan Garner, live.
Legend, great guy, and I will get some contact details later on. If you are interested in getting in contact, you just get hold of me after the program, Duncan at rover.nz. Right, it is time for my 3 questions.
3 questions from the editor-in-chief.
Why? It's just not worth it. A security guard is fighting for his life after being stabbed in the neck in broad daylight in busy Newmarket at 2:30 this afternoon. They had been wanting to speak to this alleged stabber in connection with an earlier incident. Increasingly, security guards are now at the front line of daily policing, but they hold none of the training and they have none of the tools likely that you need on the front line. You see, they don't have any of these coping mechanisms. They are sitting ducks, and they need to know what they can at least have and do. And maybe they need a taser or something like that, but just give them some tools. But right now, they are on the front line of this. This comes after another security guard was attacked and knifed in New Lynn just a few days ago. Right, at number 2 today, someone told me today that the real point of the hikoi was to get everyone on the march on the Māori roll. So that means that the number of Māori voters swell, and that automatically means that more Māori seats. So basically, Māori could have 20 seats in Parliament. Now, it's always been like this. When I was at Parliament, if all Māori were on the roll, it would have been 13 seats. It's now 20, you see. 20 seats put aside for Māori only. Now, if all Māori signed over to the Māori roll, there'd be 20 seats. It would always be the balance of power. It would always be in power, and they could turn left or right like Winston Peters. Now it makes sense, right? Poor Winnie would be out of business. Never say that. Never say that. And something positive. Did you know who the new Mrs. New Zealand is? Now, this is worth celebrating in a week where we tore ourselves apart, really, didn't we? But I have the supreme winners in the studio with me. Amazing people who have turned their lives around, and now they've been successful in winning these titles as well. So stand by.
Duncan Garner, live.
Okay, good to have you along. They are the new title holders of Mrs. New Zealand, and what a sacrifice. So this is Nilda Brown's pageant, if you like. She hates the word pageant because it's not really a pageant. This is a movement for their lives. This is about 3 months where they turn up and they're not confident. Okay, they turn up and they're not very confident. They don't do any public speaking. They're more looking within themselves rather than being extroverted. And over 3 months, they learn about themselves. They learn to speak properly and clearly and in public, and they gain huge confidence. And the winners this year of Mrs. New Zealand are Cynthia Kirpalani and Eveline Narivan, and they are with us. I spoke to them just a little short time ago. They were in here. God, they were for fun, and they spoke to me just a short time ago.
Thank you. Thank you.
Aren't you guys looking amazing? Yeah.
Thanks, Duncan.
You said
Thank you so
they
much.
were amazing, and what a night, hey? You had a great night.
Oh, it's an amazing night. It was we made history. The sources say that's the best pageant ever.
Yeah, well
So
done.
I'm proud.
Nilda. Well done. Well
Yeah.
done. So,
Thank you.
how many have you done now? How many is that?
This is the first one.
This is the first one.
Yeah.
So where were you? So Cynthia, nice to see you.
Same here, Duncan.
Yeah, congratulations.
Thank you.
You look amazing.
Thank you so much.
Stunning.
Yes,
And
yes.
so what does it? Why did you do this? What made you do this?
So for me, joining this pageant is a life-changing moment. And I've gone through a journey of self-discovery and personal growth. That is something that I wanted to do for myself, because as Nilda says that if you want to change the world, you have to change yourself first. So that's the first thing I did. And then now that I have the crown, I am planning to change the world, and I'm working towards that. I'll share more on that.
And you feel more confident? What were you like, say, 3 months ago, 4 months ago, when you first turned up compared to now? Do you notice, I bet you do, you notice a big difference in yourself?
Yes, definitely. The most obvious difference probably is the way I speak. I'm more confident now, and I can speak my heart, because previously I did also through a period have struggled a little bit with anxiety. I'm definitely out of that now, and I've been doing some groundwork before joining the pageant as well. I learned to become a meditation coach. I've done a lot of meditation throughout the years, and breath work, and also dance movement therapy. So all these factors have really helped me. But the 12 weeks program was more like a holistic development program. It wasn't just focusing on beauty and fashion related, but it was more on really making yourself aware, self-discovery.
It's growing you as a person, isn't it?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so was there a moment in that 12 weeks where you thought, I'm nailing this, I feel different, I feel confident, I feel like a different person? Was there some moment during that time?
Oh, definitely. I would say probably 3 or 4 weeks into the program is when I started noticing the difference. The first thing was we used to have these little interviews, when the photographer used to record us, ask questions randomly. It's just all after our practice or, after a yoga session or something like that. And I was able to just speak my heart out. I didn't think twice, what am I saying or anything. I just had that inner confidence built in.
Yeah, I can see that. And I didn't know you beforehand, but I can see your confidence now. But your shoulders are back and you're comfortable and happy with who you are, right?
There you go.
And what was it like to win it?
Oh my God, amazing. I don't have words. I've been thinking about this whenever people ask me, how does it feel? It's really difficult to express how I felt, but the one apt word would be, I just felt like a new me.
Yeah, wow. Wow, it's amazing. It's quite a transformation, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
So where do you go now? What do you do? What happens now?
So the next step from here is representing New Zealand in Mrs. Globe.
Wow.
So there's Mrs. Globe 2025 happening in Shenzhen, China next year. That's from 3rd of April to the 13th of April. The finale is on the 12th. So that's what I'm preparing towards. So this is a huge responsibility. I see the crown as a responsibility, a huge one where I'm really fortunate to represent my country in the world stage. And this has been a huge dream for me.
God,
and now
yeah.
it's all coming
It's well
true.
done. Congratulations. And Evelyn, and congratulations to you as well. You're another
Thank
winner.
you so much.
Yeah, you must. What was it like for you during the 12 weeks? The same sort of journey?
Yeah, same journey as her. But my motive was to encourage all the women out there that size, shape doesn't matter.
Yeah,
what matters is your inner beauty. And the first thing when I called Nilda and I asked her, is there any size there that, you have to be a certain size to join this pageant? And she was like, no. Size doesn't matter what size you are. Age is 21 to 65. So I was like, yes, because it was my dream. Because I took part in one of the show where I have seen that the ladies have really, the body shaming and all those things who wants to be
part of that?
Yes.
Yeah.
And then from there, I got this thing that, no, I will be, talking from those ladies who are really...
It's inclusive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you shouldn't be feeling shame of your body because you are the one who brings a life to this world. You should feel confident within yourself.
Good on you.
Yeah. And then other thing is if a lady is doing that to a lady, that is not good. So that is why I really wanted to join this pageant, so I can pass the message to all the ladies and all the girls who are just like, oh no, I'm so skinny, I can't do it. So it's it doesn't matter what you are. Only thing you have to believe in yourself.
Yeah, it's here. It's in here.
Yeah,
it's in here.
You just believe in yourself and you can climb any mountain in this world.
And you climbed the mountain over that 3 months.
Yes,
Did you look back at yourself at the start and you look back and you look at yourself now? Different person?
Yes, it is.
Wow. Congratulations.
Because I was really a kind of shy person. If there's something comes up, if I want to give an answer or something, I will think twice. To myself, if I'm going to give the right answer or not, if it's going to be right or not, what will people think about it? But once I've joined this pageant, it is whatever you've got within you, just take it out. Even if it's right or wrong, you will still learn from it.
Wow.
There is always a learning in there.
Look what you've done, Nilda. Eh? Look what you've done. You've given these guys such confidence.
It's working. It's
Yes,
working.
It is.
Amazing.
Was this always part of your dream, was to not just have it's a pageant with a twist, isn't it? Because it's almost like it's a series, it's a show, it's a program, it's a wellness thing. It's about getting yourself better and being the best version of yourself over that 3 months. It's totally changed your confidence.
Totally. Yeah. It's the whole package. The whole package. It's not just a pageant.
No, that's
Come
right.
on, it's absolutely unique.
Yeah, pageant's not even the right word.
Oh no, it's not. It's absolute. I need to find some words for it.
I will
because
find
this
one
is-
for you. Yeah.
Let's do this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
This
You'll be behind me.
is about being the best woman you can be
Absolutely.
across all the different across about 12 or 13 categories or whatever.
Correct,
Aren't you
correct.
proud of them?
Very proud. Do you know what? The hard work is paid off. It's not
Yeah.
easy, Duncan.
I know you've worked.
And,
I know you've worked
I'm
on
telling you,
standstill.
this. I'm gonna bring this. When you're doing something amazing and giving back to the community, and people doesn't know exactly what you're doing. Have you heard about the tall puppy syndrome?
I have heard that. Yes.
Oh, it's.
I
I
worked on
think,
TV
I think
and
in
radio.
this country it's so
Get it all the
bad.
time.
I was, and I thought, my goodness, people wake up, find your purpose
Yeah.
instead of judging others.
Stop putting us down.
Correct. Yeah.
You know, in this country, when you try and do something and you put yourself out there,
Yeah.
people want to say, "Oh, well, that won't work. Oh, well, that's no good." And look at that. Well, to those people, ignore them and stay on your
Yeah,
purpose.
that's
Yeah.
what I'm getting.
That's true.
But hey, do you know one thing? Why I'm successful in this? The more the negative is feeding through to shine.
Yeah.
Use the negative criticism to fuel you to
Channel
arise
it for
above.
positive energy.
Correct.
Yeah.
Above.
Yes.
Yeah. To rise
Yeah.
above all. And yes, that's the biggest weapon actually.
Right. And was it obvious to you during the 12 weeks that these two women were going to were standout candidates? You know, they
From the beginning,
Yeah.
absolutely.
You could tell, couldn't
We have judges. We have from the beginning. Come on, bit
yeah,
by
but you're
bit,
looking
every
closer.
step-
You're like,
Every step of the way, we starting who is gonna be who has it.
yeah.
And
you can tell from the start.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
When I-
can.
when
From
I-
the beginning.
When I met
yeah.
you, or when I've met you before, Neil, but when I met you two and you came in, it's like, whew, you sort of blew my socks off.
I told you.
I know you told me.
Yeah.
So
We have, by the way, we have 5 titles here, international titles.
I know.
The titles that I give away is going to make it, as you know, Mrs. Classic 2024. Unfortunately, she can't make it, so. Yeah, she is the winner this year.
Yeah.
And we have Mrs. Tourism
Mrs.
International
Globe, yeah.
2024 and Mrs. Asia International 2025.
No one loses.
So this is all next year.
It's like the radio awards.
Yeah.
So who goes overseas to compete then?
Next year, all of these guys
Yeah.
next
Yep,
year.
yep.
So it's going to
I'll
be
be going to
exciting.
California.
Oh yeah.
She's going to
So
California.
I'm going June. I'll be going next year, California,
Oh my goodness, this
to
is
represent New Zealand.
representing New
So
Zealand.
proud to feel. You know, I still feel I feel a lot of proudness in myself that I have done it, and now I'm going to be representing
You're on the
New
world
Zealand
stage.
in that.
Oh,
you know, that
absolutely.
biggest stage. Yeah.
This is the World Cup. You know,
Yeah.
this is actually quite a big deal.
Yes.
And as
Yeah.
a migrant, you know, we always had this gratitude towards the country, what New Zealand has provided. And New Zealand is home
Yeah.
for us now.
Of course
right?
it is,
And
yeah.
this is a great opportunity to give back to the
Yes.
country. That's how I see it.
Do you consider yourself a Kiwi?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes,
You've
I
been
have
here
a-
since 2007.
Yes, I've been here till 2007 and I have a Kiwi passport. And,
Yeah, you're a Kiwi.
yeah, I am a Kiwi.
Yeah, of course you are. And so you're representing all of us.
Yes.
Yes.
You know, that's how I see it. When I look at you guys, I think, right,
Yeah.
you are representing us now.
That is true. And Duncan, I personally, believe that we're all global citizens.
Yeah.
So yes, definitely we want to take New Zealand out there in the world stage and showcase the unique talents, the unique, I feel New Zealand has got a really, a unique way of putting ourselves out there. If you see our sports teams, they're competitive, but they never show it out. They're very subtle about it, and that's the nature of the true Kiwi.
I think you've
Very
nailed
humble,
it. Well,
let's say.
I think so, and that's why also the tall poppy thing. Whenever we see someone getting ahead, we're trying to knock them around a bit. The tall poppy, which I think is
Correct.
negative. I'd love that to go from the New Zealand
Yeah,
psyche.
it shouldn't be like that because very
Yes.
small country and a lot of people here very powerful and incredible human being.
Yeah,
that
but I
you
think we're
can take
questioning
over the
ourselves.
world.
I think we're questioning.
So,
I think right
yeah.
now in New Zealand, I don't know what you think of this, but we're questioning ourselves. I think we've lost a bit of confidence in New Zealand. If you have a look around, we've taken a few knocks.
Don't worry, Duncan, we'll bring it back.
Yeah.
Good on you.
Yeah.
Good on
That's
you.
our job.
Yeah.
Try our best.
And so, what does your family think? How's your family been?
Actually, my families are really proud of me.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah, because I come from Fiji. It's a small island.
Yes. Whereabouts?
So, from Fiji.
Yeah, whereabouts in
Lautoka. Lautoka.
Right. Oh,
Yeah.
you're from? I've been to
Yeah.
Lautoka. Yeah, been to the
Okay.
markets there, big market.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I come from there, and then they are really proud of me because it was my dream actually to do something like this,
Yes.
but I couldn't do it back there. So when I came here, and then when I go into that shouting platform from there, then I decided, no, I need to do it, and then have to go somewhere to to motivate these ladies.
Yeah.
And then I was just having a talk with Cynthia that now we've got this crown, and then how Nilda every time tells us we'll have a talk show. Like in the talk
You
show.
have your own podcast.
That's my
Yeah.
That's my dream.
Yes, and then we can talk
Yeah.
a little bit about motivating the kids also.
It's so important.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is very important.
Because you guys
yeah.
are role models now.
Yes, yeah. So
Yeah.
those are the things that I was talking to her. Like we should be starting that now, so that we can at least if we pass a little bit of message and it goes to. Not everyone will get it, but some
Yes, as long
some
as
of them will
one
get
person
it.
might change their
so
life. Yeah.
it's going to be a benefit for them, and it can change someone's life. We can control a little bit of like mental health like that if we can from talking to our
Yes.
things. And then I was just having a talk with Cynthia, and she said, yeah, we'll have a talk with Nilda and we'll see when we can start doing it.
I think you
So,
should.
yeah.
So interesting that Evelyn brings this up because
Yeah.
just yesterday I did get an email from Inspiring the Future, which is an organization that kind of goes out and finds people who can motivate school students.
Yes.
And
That's
I
crucial.
got
They're
an
all
email
looking
asking
for.
like, would you
Yeah.
be interested to sign up to become a public speaker in
Because
talk in
that's what
schools?
you
And I
want.
was like,
Yes,
this is the
yeah,
opportunity
yeah,
I've been
it's
looking
true.
for.
Because you have the confidence
Absolutely.
now. Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Let's
that is
call
true.
it planting a seed to those young people.
Yeah.
But just motivate
Because
them.
what I feel is like when they leave the school and they find the jobs to do, instead of that, if they find what they want to do in their life,
Yeah.
they dream. So sometimes I'm not saying about parents, I'm not against them, but sometimes they will be like to them, no, you need to do this.
Yeah.
But they must be thinking of becoming a singer.
So follow your dream is what
Yeah.
you're saying. Because
Yes,
when I
follow your
was
dreams.
12, 13, I always wanted to be a journalist or broadcaster or a commentator or something.
Yeah.
And my dad was in banking, and mum and dad never went to university or anything like that. But they never stood in my way. They never said, "No, you must go do banking like
That's
that."
Yeah.
amazing.
They said,
It's true.
do what you want to
Yeah.
do, man. And I was so
Yes.
been so
Yep.
passionate about it, and I still am. At 30 years in the game, I still love what I do.
Yes.
It's like it's a holiday every day. It doesn't feel like work.
Yeah, because
Yeah, it's a
parents'
buzz.
support is the biggest thing
Course, yeah.
that the kids need. So once they get the parents' support, they don't care what others say.
Yeah.
They know that whom they love, whom they pray for, they are with them.
As long as they're happy.
Yep, they are happy, yeah, and they will be very strong. And they can change a lot of things because they are following their dreams and they are doing what they want to do.
Yes.
So if the parents start, telling them, no, you don't do this, you do this, that's the time
No,
they
we
start
don't want
going
that.
out. Yeah,
No,
they
that's when we
start
climb out
going-
the window and go
Yeah.
get the girlfriend. Yeah?
Yeah, so they go out of the track. So those are the things, if a little bit parents, they change themselves, they can change a lot of things in their kids.
Yeah. I think you guys have said it brilliantly. Just to wrap things up, you got the Indian community around you. They must have just been so proud of you.
Oh, yes, definitely. And I've been getting a lot of invites to come as a special guest. And recently I went to a Diwali festival. I've got another one lined up for this weekend as well. Now, the community has been, extremely proud of me, and the love and warmth that they're showing is
That's amazing. You guys are
Yes.
rock stars. Nilda, I'll give you the final comment. What do you want to say? It's all on for next year. These guys are off to the world.
Absolutely. We are open for next year's contestants.
Yes.
If anyone interested, please make sure that
How can they
it's
get
me.
hold of you? How can they get hold of you? Give us an address or something.
Facebook page
Yeah.
for Mrs. New Zealand.
Yes.
And make sure it's me, because nowadays it's hard to.
It might be a fake Nilda.
No, not that, because
There's only one
I
Nilda.
got that exactly. I got cloned my page.
Oh, really?
Taking all my.
Oh, yes, they lift it. Yeah.
And,
But
and-
ignore
and
them.
Just make sure it's
Make sure
me.
it's you,
Yeah, just make
genuine
sure it's
page.
me, and video call me, and it just make sure you video call and
Yeah, they will
contact
know
me in
you. They will
person.
know you.
Yeah.
Lovely to
Thank
meet you
you.
guys. Congratulations and
Yeah,
good luck
thank
when you
you
get
so
hit
much.
over
Thanks,
to represent New
Duncan.
Zealand.
Thank you, Duncan.
Thank
Thank
you
you very
very
much
much.
for
Thank
the
you so much
opportunity.
for having us here today.
Love you, New Zealand.
Yeah, love you too.
Yeah. What amazing people, positive people. Can I just say that they raised $10,000, Nilda's group raised $10,000 for ovarian cancer. That was a buzzy interview. That was one of my favourite interviews this year.
Yeah, it was great.
Weren't they amazing?
Yeah, they were great. It was awesome. It was real cool to see that. I mean, we haven't had like 3 people in the booth before.
No.
Or 3 people plus
but
you.
But it's uplifting. See, these guys lacked confidence 3 months ago. They've won their titles. They have confidence. They've changed as people, you know? It's not a
cool.
pageant, you know? It's about people, yeah?
100%.
Your Kiwi mate has said here online, Duncan, she's Kiwi enough for me. Can you tell her I'm single, please?
Well, there you go.
There you go, New Zealand.
There you go.
Great job, ladies, says Bradley. And who are these women, says New Zealand guy? Well, they are Mrs. New Zealand.
Yeah.
That's the other title holders. So, and they're off to the world,
in China, didn't they say?
Cindy is off to China
for Miss is it Miss Globe?
Miss Globe. Yeah.
Very cool. Very exciting.
Yeah, pretty amazing. So I do hope they do well. But just a reminder that they also were doing good things and raising money too. So they raised $10,000 for ovarian cancer.
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah. God, they were stunning, weren't they?
Yeah, no. I love the crowns.
Yeah.
Crowns were good.
I tried one on.
I was going to say they gave you one. You should have done the interview on it.
Yes. It didn't fit. It was far too wide.
Oh, really?
From my head.
Who would have thought?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I could have got one for you. I said, that's a $2 shop, and they looked down their nose at me.
Oh.
And well done. What amazing, beautiful woman. So well done. Well done.
Amazing.
Awesome work, says Bradley. Thank you.
Duncan Garner, live.
Okay, I think it's time for a bit of slam.
It's the Slam Dunk.
So this gang patch ban is now in force, and it took all of, 3 minutes to nail a gangster wearing his patch at 12:03am this morning. Duh. It's not like you weren't warned, pal. You know, so yeah, you have it. In the cities, I think the gang patch law will work. Cops, the police, they'll police together, right? And it's clear that city cops will initially come down pretty hard on these gangsters who thumb their nose at this. The government wants to make it hard to be a gangster. And I think that compared to the last lot, it's really hard now to be a gangster because they've been targeted. But this is all overdue, right? I mean, it's window dressing to a point, but these guys love their patch. Their patch is, is their macho stuff. So, it's overdue. If they can ban them in Aussie, they can ban them here, and we finally have. But this thing's been going on for 20 years, talk about banning it, and suddenly we've done it. Sometimes we just talk about things too much rather than just go and do it. Like we debate it can't be done, it can't be. Yes, it can be. They just passed a law and it's been done. If they can ban them in Aussie, they can ban them here, and they have done. And people do get intimidated by these gang patches. Personally, I don't, but I know people do. And this has been a long time coming. All sorts of excuses were given, but in the end, the law has been changed. I expect gangs to try and work around it. They're masters at getting around laws, or driving straight through them, actually. And this will be no different. Already it's emerging they are wearing patches of just blue or red. Yeah, wow. If it can be done there, it can be done here. And the cops might just need to be like the Aussie cops and stop being friends with everyone. The approach from this government compared to the last government couldn't be more stark, especially on the gang issue. The last government gave, $2.7 million to the mongrel mob, to a chapter of the mongrel mob to help them fight that methamphetamine addiction. Costa, Ardern, a lot of them, gave them a free pass, really. Why, who knows? But it just didn't just look soft. It looked almost pathetic. These guys organised crime groups. And so the National came in, and they came in and took their assets and took their gang patches, and they have regular checkpoints now outside these mass funerals and things, and they're making it really, really hard to be a gang member. And unapologetically they're doing this. And there are no backdowns. Mark Mitchell said he's going to do it, and he's doing it. He's now picked a chief police officer who's going to make sure it happens. So these gangs are now targeted. No one's making it easy. The gang patch law will be tricky, I reckon, in the small towns where many gangs have moved to, especially places like the far north, east coast. In the far north, where I go, sometimes it's just one or two cops and for 140 k's of road. Policing in small towns takes on a life of its own, and there are some things that police look the other way on. For instance, in Wairau, there are 22 police officers. And in terms of former gang members and current gangsters, numbers could be 200. So if you're one of 22 cops and there's 200 gangsters in town, police are about 10% of the size of the gangs. Are you really going to stand over a car full of mongrel mob blokes and tell them to take off their patches at 10 o'clock at night or midnight? You're not, are you? It's not going to happen. Sometimes the patch may just be waved through just so everyone gets home that night. And that might be the best answer. I mean, on $80,000 in the middle of the Wops, would you stop a car full of men in red barking out the window? No thanks. It's not worth the fight. It's not worth your life. And nor are they paid enough to do it, sorry. That's just my take on it.
Duncan Garner, live.
All right. You know what it's like. Small town, someone smoking weed, the cop looks the other way because what's the point? Paperwork, no thanks. That is us. This will be available as a podcast on Rover shortly and wherever you get your podcast. Thank you for all your feedback and your support. I just want to say well done to the ladies again. Brilliant stuff. Lovely interview and so upbeat and positive, which I think is what we need a bit of that right now, right? I'm Duncan at rover.nz. You can get in touch with me easily. To my team, Isaac, thank you, sir. You're the best, mate. Really appreciate your consistency and what you bring to the program, mate. Forrester at large. We may start to not mention Forrester if he doesn't mention us, okay?
Yeah, potentially. He was very sick at the start of the week. I know that. He was supposed to be here on Tuesday.
Was he?
But he was unfortunately very sick. I ended up giving him a
What was
call on
wrong with
Tuesday
him?
night, and he sounded bad. He was,
really?
fighting some battles.
Oh, was he?
But he's good now. He was back at work today, and so hopefully in the future we will see him again.
Yeah, so we'll keep him on the titles list, but
For now, we'll put him in the credits. But you may,
It's questionable.
Who knows? Yeah, exactly.
Wasn't COVID, was it? Do you know what it was?
Nah, it wasn't COVID. He was out for 2 or 3 days.
Oh,
but he's
he
back.
got felled, eh? Yes, there's some nasty bugs around, yeah.
100%.
Okay, we'll keep him out of here then. So thank you, Isaac. Thank you, mate. And thank you, everyone. We'll do this again on Monday. Remember, life is no dress rehearsal. There's no curtain raiser. This is it. We live in one of the best places on earth, so get positive. Get out and enjoy it. Make something of it. And let's do it together. Have a great day and great rest of the evening. Take care, New Zealand. Ta-da.
That was Duncan Garner, Editor-in-Chief Live. Missed something on the live stream? Text Duncan to 3598 to listen back on the podcast. Want to get in touch? Call 0800 863 293.